Hello.
Hello. I don't know what camera to look at.
Welcome
let's
to
look at that
the
one.
Real Deal Rob and Rob Show.
Real Deal Rob and Rob Show. I think it's just the Rob and Rob Show, though. Is it a?
It's on the Real Deal,
yeah.
so.
A fit like.
We're a brand.
Yeah, a brand. Welcome to the Rob and Rob Show. Music commentary from your favorite Robs. I am Robert Joseph Lee White.
And I'm Robert Louis Segovia.
You can just call us Rob
And Rob.
Hence the name Rob and Rob Show.
Yeah.
Want to get into what the show is about and like what we're going to be covering today, Rob?
Yeah, so the Rob and Rob Show is a music show where we just talk about different albums, songs, artist profiles, really anything in music, in the music world. We go over different genres. It's a pretty cool show. Just we talk like this at home, just talking about different stuff that came out.
Mm-hmm. Now we have like an audience to give it to and to like branch out to give different opinions on stuff. Maybe we'll argue sometimes, hopefully not, but let's just see where it goes.
We'll keep it civil. We live with each other, so.
Yeah, we're a little too close. All right, so I guess we're gonna break down what the show is gonna like, the format of the show.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into albums of the week and songs of the week. I'll have my album, you'll have your album. I'll have my song, you have your song, and then we'll go into our main segment topics. We're gonna touch on the late great Mac Miller and the albums that dropped over the summer that we did not review at the Real Deal, and we obviously didn't cover it yet, so we're going to talk about that, and then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So let's just get into albums of the week. You want to start us off with what you've been listening to this week?
Yeah, for me, I've been listening to Funk Wave Bounces, Volume 1 by Calvin Harris, and it's just, I mean, it's a great summer album. It's
Absolutely.
still, September, still very hot outside, muggy, but it was colder earlier in the week, but I did want to get into that vibe again, especially nearing the end of the week. And with that album, you have Slide with Frank Ocean and Migos, Rollin' with Future and Khalid, and just the whole album itself just gives a really cool vibe from Calvin Harris. I wasn't expecting him to feature all these hip-hop artists.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Calvin Harris. I think my first introduction to him was through this album because he had, of course, Frank Ocean and the Migos, but I haven't got a chance to listen to the whole album, but the songs I do like, I love. It's definitely Summer Feel. Are those your favorite tracks on the album?
Definitely. Slide, when I first listened to it, it was around the same time that Chanel from Frank Ocean came out.
I do remember that.
All those songs just really gave this amazing feel for me. That was a good time in music. That part of the year was really it was fun.
Hell yeah, or heck yeah, sorry. Do you think he'll make like more, do you think he'll do this type of album again where it's just like you get a certain feeling from listening to this, or you think he might go to more like a contextual, more lyrical, or do you just think it's all vibes from Calvin Harris? Because I don't know too much about him.
It's always vibes from Calvin Harris. I mean, it was mostly pop music. He featured a lot of up-and-coming stars with, Sia and just featuring like Rihanna, big artists at the time. And now hip-hop is becoming the forefront of music. At the Grammys this past year, we saw that they took over most of the awards, even the big awards like Album of the Year and Song of the Year, Record of the Year. So I feel like Calvin Harris is really touching on what's popular at the moment, and I think with the coming years, it's going to continue with hip-hop.
Well, hey, I'm excited for it. All right, so my album of the week is actually a jazz album. Our friend Jacob, Jacob Melton, shout out Jacob Melton. He loves jazz music, and he also likes Kendrick Lamar. And he told me about this guy named, I don't want to mispronounce his name, Kamasi Washington, and he worked on To Pimp a Butterfly and Damn, which is Kendrick's projects. And I've been listening to his album called The Epic. Really no lyrical content in it whatsoever, but I wanted to dive into a new form of music. And my uncles and my dad, they all listen to jazz, and I decided for my first time getting into jazz, I wanted this to be the one, and The Epic, I can honestly say, is really amazing. It's just, it like gives you different emotions throughout the whole thing. At 1 minute, I'm feeling like empowered by the song, and there's no lyrics in it whatsoever. It's just a weird concept to me. Like, how can I relate to a song that doesn't have any words in it?
Right.
But my favorite track on there is probably Ask Him. I think it's like 15 tracks long. Each song is like 12 minutes long, but I listened to it maybe twice all the way through, and I always come back to Ask Him. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ask Him, and it the last 3 minutes like takes me on like a whirlwind of emotion. So that's what I've been listening to for this week.
I like it.
Yeah, do you listen to jazz at all, Sweat?
I do. I used to actually be in the jazz band in middle school and high school. I play saxophone, and I did a few concerts back in, we actually traveled to Northwestern University and played a few festivals, but that's besides the point. I do love jazz music, and I'm excited to actually listen to that because I'm a big fan of To Pimp a Butterfly.
Absolutely.
And the musical grooves and interludes within each of the songs are some of my favorite moments of those projects. Like you said, To Pimp a Butterfly and Damn. I'm excited to go into more of that music within an entire project.
Cool, yeah. And this isn't his latest album, but I'm definitely looking forward to listening to his other projects. So yeah, Kamasi Washington, The Epic, highly recommend it. Yeah, that's my album of the week. All right, we're gonna get into songs of the week. You want to tell us what your song of the week that you've been listening to?
Yeah, it's been my song of the week for maybe a month and a half right now. Forever
Sounds
by
like multiple weeks.
Yeah, Forever by Clairo. Bedroom pop is popping right now.
Tell me about it because I don't know anything about this artist.
Okay, so Clairo is like an artist that is along with Kuko and Rex Orange County, a lot of those R&B pop,
like neo soul pop combination.
It's tough to. Genres are tough. Listen,
they make music.
Yeah, they make really good music, and just again vibes. I'm with the vibes.
All about the vibes.
This week, this month. Yeah, and just a lot of the songs recently that I've been listening to have come from those types of artists. Kid Bloom with Window, Forever by Clairo. Just songs that you can listen to a few minutes at a time and just throughout the day. It just gets you in a good mood.
There you go. That's what I like. That's good. Good choice. My song of the week is from A$AP Rocky's recent project, Testing.
Mm-hmm.
It is the last track. It features our boy Frank Ocean.
Awesome.
It's called Purity. It's more, again, like a vibes track because the whole album, to be honest, I didn't think was that great. But this song kind of, I don't know, made up for it, in my opinion. It really, like, he used Frank as an instrument, which I really like. And Ace, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, they blend so well together on the song. It's not like A$AP has a verse and then Frank Ocean has a verse and then A$AP Rocky tries to come back in to tie it up. They work together.
I get that. The thing about A$AP Rocky, he works very well with certain artists.
Exactly.
As Tyler, the Creator, I actually want a collab album from them because they work very well together. I was surprised when I first saw them collaborate, but
that's a very weird combination.
For the past few songs that they've done together, it's just they connect so well. I think that certain artists like Frank Ocean, Tyler, the Creator, those are Odd Future members. Maybe A$AP needs to get on Earl Sweatshirt's bandwagon and maybe Damo Genesis, some of those Odd Future guys that haven't really gotten a lot of exposure lately because it's Tyler, the Creator, and Odd Future. He kind of left them behind. Don't know what really happened with that, but
I don't know either.
I would be very happy if A$AP was able to work with Odd Future Gang.
Absolutely. They did have that one song and music video. Was it Potato Salad? Is that what it's
Potato
called?
Salad, yeah.
Sounds made up, but I promise you it's not. And I liked it. I love that song.
And then that freestyle on from the Life of Pablo album that A$AP and Tyler did.
Yeah. I don't think we can say the title of it on here.
Well,
but
it's on YouTube.
He sampled a song from Kanye's album and they freestyled over it.
It's censored. We can't say that.
Yeah.
But
so
it's a good song.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely with you on one more collaborations from A$AP Rocky and some of the Odd Future people. I mean, we haven't heard Earl Sweatshirt in 4 years.
In a minute, yeah.
We definitely haven't heard. I mean, we hear Frank Ocean a lot more often, but we could definitely use a lot more Frank Ocean. And I think having A$AP any member of A$AP, really, mainly Rocky. Having A$AP Rocky work with Frank Ocean would be beneficial for the fans and for him.
Yep.
Cool.
So now we're going to get into our main segment topics. How about you lead us off, Rob? I know you did this segment on The Real Deal earlier this week. Tell us a little bit more about what happened.
Right. So we're going to be talking about Mac Miller, the late, great Mac Miller. It's kind of not funny, but like I didn't think I would get emotional talking about Mac Miller, especially on my segment, but I kind of did. I was actually holding back some tears. I wasn't the biggest Mac Miller fan, but he definitely touched my life in more ways than I can imagine. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about the late Mac Miller. Some brief history. He started out around 2008, 2009. Really broke out in 2010, 11. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. He was on Rostrum Records, and his mixtapes, Best Day Ever and Kids. Yeah. Those were some of the highlights from his mixtape days. And he was one of those artists that really came up and boosted the mixtape scene. There was, Mac Miller, Kendrick Lamar was in that, J. Cole, Big Sean. A lot of the artists that are popular right now in hip hop were some of the ones that came up in the mixtape game.
That was a good year, or a good couple years for rap.
Right.
So he dropped that. He signed to Rostrum. What was his first big album? Titled?
It was Blue Slide Park.
Blue Slide Park, that's what it was. And that's where he kind of gained his momentum. Mm-hmm. And then he made music, watching movies with the sound off.
Yep.
And then from there, that's where his fame really grew, because he was on MTV2, Mac Miller and the Most Dope Family, which a lot of people got to see the insides of Mac Miller's life. You can just see how positive he was. I think that's what gravitated me. Let me rephrase that. That's what had me gravitate towards him, because he was always positive. I never seen him in a bad mood. He always was lighthearted, funny.
Right.
And it just made me feel good that someone who can be serious in his music and his craft and still be lighthearted and not take everything too seriously.
Yeah, so with Kids, Best Day Ever, and Blue Slide Park, you had the Party Mac Miller. Mm-hmm. Party on Fifth Ave, Donald Trump. All those mixtapes were and songs were really getting Mac Miller into the scene, and then he came with Watching Movies with the Sound Off, and that's when he actually started getting more into his personal life and just talking about a lot of the things that have affected him and made him who he is today. Right. And then Good Morning, The Divine Feminine, and then his latest album,
Swimming?
Swimming.
Yeah, no, it's tragic, man. I listened to Good AM, voice crack, sorry. I listened to Good AM, I think it was freshman year, and that was the first full Mac Miller project that I really enjoyed, and I can just tell he was definitely underrated, because a lot of people never put Mac Miller on a height as far as J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, and even Tyler the Creator. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely lyrical, definitely musical, and on that album I feel like he really stepped his game up. Yeah,
I actually thought that Mac Miller he's in my upper echelon of hip hop artists at the moment, because what he brings to the table is not just his party rap, and his lyrical content, but he actually produces tracks for other artists.
Self-taught instruments too. He played guitar, piano, all that.
Under the name Larry Fisherman, he was a production person for Earl Sweatshirt, Tyler the Creator, a lot of those artists on the West Coast and Odd Future related. Mac Miller was that guy that helped push them forward.
Right.
And a lot of people don't really give him that credit. They only look back at his Donald Trump days. And although that's a great song, there's more to Mac Miller than meets the eye.
Right. He's not just, he didn't just have a heroic moment. He was definitely a hero throughout for a lot of people.
For sure.
We got from Good AM to The Divine Feminine, which is kind of a curveball from Mac Miller, because again, he had his party style rap and then his introspective, deep type of rap, and then he kind of moved towards like a love album.
And that was, with Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande, yeah.
And with her, he was. I saw him at his happiest. I've never seen him so happy. And those songs on that album, My Favorite Part.
Cinderella is probably
Cinderella,
my favorite song by Mac Miller. Period.
Those songs just really put you in a good mood, and you want to put it on with your significant other
with your
and
boo.
your boo, and just ride along to the night.
Yeah, it gets you that that giddy feeling where you first starting to like somebody, fall in love with them. Like, we're a couple saps over here. We like love stories and stuff like that. So that was like a perfect album for us. Unfortunately, I did not listen to Swimming. You have.
I have.
Heard at least a couple songs.
Yes, the first song that I listened from that was Self Care, and that video was insane.
I haven't seen the video.
Mac Miller is locked in a coffin, and he has a lighter, and he's, the song is talking about his addiction and his drug use, and it was really foreshadowing his death. And I mean, just looking back on when I first watched that and the feelings that were brought to me when I saw it, I was like, I don't know what Mac Miller is really going through. He doesn't talk about it. I mean, he talks about it in his albums, but he doesn't really do interviews and talk about like what's going on. And that happens with a lot of artists and a lot of people. There's not enough conversation about mental health and a lot of the things that are going on inside. And it begs the question, just, what can we do to help the people around us? And, we need more self-care, more love to each other.
Right. Again, like, you wouldn't think Mac Miller would go through something like that. Yeah, he was never like shy about talking about his addictions and stuff. But again, every time you saw him, he was upbeat, he was happy. You just didn't think he'd be struggling so hard with addiction.
Yeah.
And, I guess we can just take for this, like, as a lesson to, like, if you see any signs of, like, your friends or something like that going through addiction, or they're going through addiction, try to help them in any way you can. And that's
the legacy that Mac Miller leaves behind. And, it's not just his music, it's the conversation of more to be done within the community of hip-hop and our world today.
Exactly, man. Exactly. All right.
So
that's enough being sad right now. Sorry. We just want to get that out of the way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to talk more lighthearted into the albums that dropped over the summer that we didn't get a chance to review. Sorry, on The Real Deal. I guess I'll start. So over the summer, Kanye West, even though he's been a little controversial with his like statements that we're really not going to get into. It's all about music for right now. He helped his record label,
Good Music.
A bunch of those artists dropped albums within like the same month or a couple months. And one of those albums that I really enjoyed was from Pusha T, and it's the album Daytona. I liked Pusha T a lot before this, but this made me love Pusha T. This album. It's only 7 tracks. It's a cardio playlist. Every time I run on the treadmill, as long as I listen to every song on that album, that's when I know my workout's done. So it's a quick listen, but the bars are so good. And the production, because Kanye West produced this whole thing. The production's so good. Mm-hmm. My favorite songs on there is the first one, If You Know, You Know. Just kind of like a braggadocious hip hop that I really like when I'm wanting to feel like, I don't know, just punked, for lack of a better term. And then just throughout the production is amazing. His bars are amazing. But then he kind of throws some jabs at Drake. He talked about, because Drake has his like ghostwriting rumors from back in the day. He dropped that in there, and then that's what spawned Drake to write his diss track to Pusha T, and then Pusha T wrote another diss track to Drake, revealing Drake's son to the world that nobody else knew. But and we can thank that from this album. I guess Daytona really changed the way Drake did his album, because Drake was talking about his son on his album, and that wouldn't happen if Pusha T didn't release that diss track. But besides all that, it's a really good project. If you like hard, just gritty hip hop with amazing production.
Yeah, Daytona's on, my top albums of the year right now. And with, the whole Drake, Pusha T controversy, Drake's not, that great. Let's just put it out there. He doesn't make good albums.
That's a bold statement, 2018, but
he makes a lot of hits, okay? And you can have a greatest hits project, but he doesn't. There's only been one album that I can actually consider something, and that's Take Care. That's the one album that I'm like, Drake's actually really good on that project. And So Far Gone. That's a mixtape though.
But listen, Drake streamed 2 billion streams on this new project. We don't think it's that great. It has a lot of hits on it. I think that's why it streams so much. The reason why people like Drake is because he makes those hits. He's on top right now. People are gonna listen to Drake, but I do agree with you. He doesn't make that great of albums.
Yeah.
Scorpion, I think half of it is great. Probably his best work.
Well, that's the thing with his past few albums. There's been Views. It was okay.
Views is my favorite Drake album, by the way. Just want to put that up there.
So you have Views, and then you have More Life, which is just a playlist. It's not even he doesn't consider it an album. He doesn't take his music seriously. He takes from other artists. I mean, XXXTentacion, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
But he just takes from other artists, uses their best stuff, and puts it on a higher platform because he has that platform. That's the thing with Drake.
Yeah,
he's no Kendrick Lamar. He's no Pusha T. He's not one of the best hip hop artists at the moment. He does make hits, and that makes him a good hip hop artist. But in my opinion, when it comes down to albums, he doesn't make full-length projects that are worthy of critical acclaim.
Got you. Now that's what I was just going to capitalize on. But yeah, listen to Daytona.
Okay.
All right. What is your pick? What are we working with?
What we got?
What we got?
So I have Ye by Kanye West.
Another Kanye?
Another Kanye-produced album. This was really Kanye's
10
year.
minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. All right.
You got it.
Got you. Thank you.
Kanye really boosted a lot of albums this year. He produced a lot of the tracks from different good music artists, like you said. And for Ye, I mean, the end of the album is probably my favorite.
It's beautiful. It's talking about his daughter.
Yeah, Ghost Town, and then what is it, Violent Crimes. Those are two of the best songs produced on the whole 5 or 6 albums that Kanye West did for the beginning of the summer. But I actually didn't know Party Next Door was on Ghost Town. I thought that was Kanye West with his auto-tune, but
I thought
Party
it was
Next Door.
Yeah, in a different song, I thought it was Ty Dolla $ign. I'm like, this can't be Party Next Door, but apparently it was.
Yeah. So Ye is an album that you can listen to again, not exactly in the same element. You're not going to listen to it while you're working out, but it is another short album that you can just run through and find some elements that you love from Kanye West, and he puts it all into Ye.
Cool. Speaking of running through, we're going to run through the rest of this. Apparently. All right, so I have 2 more albums that dropped over the summer. Number 1 being Everything Is Love by the Carters. Beyonce and Jay-Z. After Jay-Z's cheating, you wouldn't think they'd be making an album together, let alone a good one, but man, this was incredible. This is coming from a guy who's not a huge Jay-Z fan.
Okay.
I respect him. I think he's one of the greatest to ever rap or make music, period. And I love Beyonce. Not the biggest Beyonce fan, but I love her. But having them together in this album, there's not a skippable track on this album.
Yeah, I'm excited to actually take a listen to it. I have not listened to that album. I didn't know that it was on Spotify before today because Jay-Z likes to put everything on Tidal.
Who got Tidal, Jay-Z?
So yeah, I have Jay-Z's album saved on Spotify, but I can't listen to any of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's that was my second one.
Okay, so my second one's going to be Goodbye and Good Riddance by Juice WRLD. Now, this album is by a Chicago artist named Juice WRLD. He is on the radio a ton right now because of All Girls Are the Same. That's, you know, his style is a lot of, it has hip hop, but it also takes some elements of rock and, you know, that, you know, those good, sad rock songs that, you know, get you in your feels.
Those angsty. Yeah, rock songs. Reminds me of Paramore.
Yeah, for sure. Juice WRLD is just someone that is on the rise again with that whole SoundCloud scene with XXXTentacion and Ski Mask. A lot of those artists are making some sentimental music, just like Denzel Curry, which is leading to my last album.
See that transition, though?
Yeah. Denzel Curry is another SoundCloud rapper who released Taboo this summer, and it was a fantastic album. Go listen to it. It has 3 parts, and it's actually the most introspective that Denzel Curry has been. We know him from Ultimate and ULT. Yeah. He makes hype music and, you know, makes political rap and it gets you turned. But
it still has a message to it.
Definitely, and that's the point that I want to highlight, because a lot of SoundCloud artists don't really get recognition for, you know, bringing big topics and big facts. Big facts to the discussion. And Denzel Curry is one of those artists that's, you know, kind of ending that stigma and putting SoundCloud rap into the mainstream again, and not just mainstream as in music and radio, but actually talking about real things.
Absolutely.
Real things.
Real things, eh? That's a good choice, man. All right, my last one is Travis Scott, Astroworld. Look at this camera now. Astroworld. It dropped, I believe, in July or August, and it's been nonstop on my, like, everywhere I'm going. I listen to it at least once a day. Not the whole thing, but like at least the first 3 or 4 songs on repeat. Just keep listening to it, keep listening to it, keep listening to it. I was a big Travis Scott fan before this. Pretty much like every mixtape and album that he dropped. But this is my favorite. I'd say it's my favorite right now. But yeah, it's definitely one you should definitely check out. Very hype, very mosh pit-esque, like get you turned type of rap. I don't know, I'm on that wave right now.
I get that.
Yeah, you get that. My favorite songs on the album have to be Carousel. That's with Frank Ocean, which apparently Frank Ocean does not like his vocals on there, so he might actually take his vocals off of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, Carousel, Stargazing, Sicko Mode with Drake. That whole album is really good, so definitely recommend that. If you're a fan of rap or just Travis Scott, you'll like it.
I like that choice because Travis Scott I haven't really put in the same conversation as those other artists that really push hip-hop forward. But with this album, I think there's going to be more of, you know, introspective lyrics and bringing on artists that are already popular and putting them on just random tracks scattered throughout an album. I like Butterfly Effect before the album came out, and then just like you said, Sicko Mode, Stargazing, Carousel, all through
Bangers.
just bangers. Yeah.
Bangers. Yeah.
Well, this was a banger.
This show was a banger. I thought it was pretty good.
Dope.
Couple stumbles here and there, but hey, not
it's
too
our first
bad.
show.
Yeah, first show. We can only get better. All right, we're gonna close the show out, but before that, we're going to highlight. Since this is the Rob and Rob show, we're gonna highlight a famous Rob. Oh. And it has to go to Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Have to shout out to the GOAT of the Marvel Universe.
Oh.
I don't think you knew anything about this. But yeah, shout out to Robert Downey Jr. Hopefully he gets some stuff done in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Man's got to get it done.
Exactly.
But okay, I'll shout out someone, Rob Riggle. For no reason.
For no reason.
Hopefully he can make some good Sunday NFL countdown picks this time. They bring him on just to be funny, but he actually makes some good picks sometimes.
Hey,
so well, you need a funny guy that likes sports. And we happen to like sports and maybe
like
funny. Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
All right. Hey, thank you for watching the Rob and Rob show. I'm Rob White.
And I'm Rob Segovia.
And we'll see y'all next time, all right?